Got a tough night, AJ. I think he's got a really tough night, but I hope he gets the win. I want to see him in the mix with your Furies and the Wilders. So I hope he gets a win, but it's a tough night for him. I think it really is. He's got to be on his A game. But yeah, I'm going AJ. I think he'll get a stoppage, mid to late stoppage. I'm all leaning towards Wilder. Even though like Joe, he's a nice guy. I've shared the ring with him, but he's just got such a tough fight there. But you never know. He might get in there and he might take over with his fast hands and be agile. But I think he's got a tough fight there. I'm not going to say a winner, but do you know what I mean?
Do you think he can avoid that right hand? That's the problem.
If he can avoid that, he might get through. But yeah, he's got a very tough.
So if I had to push you on this,
yeah, it's got to be Wilder. Sorry, Joe, but
and no one ever goes Wilder.
I want Joe to win.
You don't go Wilder points, do you?
No.
This stage of AJ's career, he's got a point to prove, and if he wants to be back in them big fights with the big boys, I think he's got to be taking him out and taking him out early in good fashion, and I think that's what he'll do. I think AJ's now realised that he's got to knuckle down and prepare for each fight as if they are top world champions, and I think when he doesn't, I think that's when he comes unstuck. So I think he'll have the bit between his teeth, and I think he'll put on a pretty devastating performance.
So the old spiteful AJ, you think, is back on the 23rd of December?
I think so, yeah. And I think if you watch his recent media work, I think the old AJ is now coming back. I've seen an interview with him, I think it was yesterday, last couple of days, of him asking about this persona that people have sort of put on him to be this sort of role model, and I think now he wants to strip it back and go back to the sort of raw Anthony Joshua, which I think deep down he is, and I think that'll come out in his performance. Wilder Parker, it's a tough one to call. In my heart, I'd say Wilder gets him out there at some point. The thing with Wilder, from the first round to as long as he's in there, he's always dangerous with that right hand, and I think at some point in the fight, whether it's early or late, I think he'll get him out of there, and I think it'll be a case of Parker could be up on the cards, going into the late rounds, but that devastating power of Wilder, I think, will land at some point and get the job done.
You could say Joshua a bit of a bully fighter, so taking that mentality in, I've already beat him, you're going to stick it on him.
Stick it on him early, yeah.
So Josh, early to mid?
I'd say mid. I hope it's early. I hope he goes, you know what, I'm not getting stuck in this lead hand game, and I'm going to go out there and do him.
What happens in that? Does Parker withstand the right hand and nick it? No, okay.
No, he's not going 12 rounds out again, caught with that. He's going to get banged out. I like Parker, but we're not judging people's personalities here. We're judging boxing. So I just think Wilder gets him.